So today we're going to be talking about the basics of circles, and we're going to go over the parts of a circle and the basic formulas for a circle. So the first, I drew a circle for you, and here's the center. So we're just going to go over the parts of a circle first. So if I draw a line from the center to the edge, any edge on the circle, this is called the radius. So there's an infinite amount of these. It's not just like one. So that's one, that's one, that's one, so there's a whole bunch. So the radius is r. Now, if I drew a line from one end, cuts through the middle, cuts through the center, all the way to the other end, this line, this whole line, like the widest part of all of the circle, is called a diameter. Okay, so the radius is always half of the diameter. Also, conversely, so like if you want to say it opposite, the diameter is always twice as big as the radius. So D equals 2R. So when that is D. So now, if you know what the radius is, you can figure out what the diameter is. And if you know what the diameter is, you can figure out what the radius is. So example, if a diameter of a circle is 10 inches, then the radius is 5. Another example, if the radius is 12, then the diameter, so the diameter is always twice as big, the diameter is 24. And so those are the two main parts of a circle that I really care about for this week. But we do have two more formulas that we need to know, and I think you've seen them before. So the area of the circle and the circumference of the circle. So the area of the circle is pi r squared. And I'm going to put a parenthesis around the r squared. And then the formula for circumference is 2 pi r. Or pi times the diameter. So 2 times r is equal to the diameter, and then we need pi in there, no matter what. Every time we're talking about a circle, we're going to include pi. And so pi, I want to talk about pi. Pi is just a number. It's just a number that is really, really long, but we shorten it just for our sakes. We're just going to call it 3.14. So that's all it is. It's just a number. It's just like 6.3 or like 2.1, but 3.14 is a really special number because as you get more and more into advanced mathematics, this number shows up all the time. But this is just the symbol for this number. So these are the same thing. So this like little squiggly with two lines, like two legs attached to it, that's the symbol, that's the Greek symbol for pi. And the number, like the number we actually care about, what it actually stands for is 3.14. Not 3, not 3.5, not 4, not 3.2, it's 3.14. It's very important. And so here's the two formulas that we need to know, area and circumference. So I'm going to erase the board. Okay, so let's talk about circumference. Circumference is the distance around like the circle. So if I start here and say it's like a track, okay, so I'm here and I want to run all the way around the track, and it's like a perfect circle track. So the circumference, me running around that circle, that's the circumference. So that's the distance of like the edge of the circle. So that's what the circumference actually means. It doesn't have anything to do with like how big like the inside is, but how like long the circle's edge is. So here it is again. So the circumference, which is just c, 2 pi r. So if I know the radius of a circle, I can figure out its circumference. If I know the diameter of the circle, I can also figure out its circumference. So example, if the radius of a circle is 7 feet, what is the circumference? Excuse me. So all we do is, first things first, we write down our formula. I'm doing red. So this is us solving the example. So this is the formula for circumference, 2 pi r. And it can be lowercase or uppercase, it doesn't matter. So what I know, like what they gave me, is the radius is 7 feet. Okay, so I know for a fact that my radius is 7. Now all I'm going to do is I'm going to plug it in. I'm going to plug in those numbers. So this is when you pull up, if you're lucky enough to have a graphing calculator at home, do that. But I like Desmos a lot. I also like Wolfram Alpha, and I will link all these great, like free, fully functional graphing calculators down in the link below. But so now you're going to need to use a calculator to figure out what the circumference is, because we don't like, once pi is involved, you bring out that calculator. Like, you don't want to do this by hand. Nobody does. In reality, nobody does that. So this is our work. So 2 times pi times r, which is just 2 times pi times 7, which is really just 14 pi, which is, let me get my calculator. Okay, so 14 times pi. You should get about 43.9 but I would even accept 44 if you want to round to the whole number. But it would be about 43.9. There you go. And so that's how you figure out the circumference of any circle. You just need to know what the radius is, or the diameter. If you know either one, you can figure out the circumference. Okay. So let me erase. We're going to do area now. Okay. So area, short capital A, pi r squared. So again, you're going to need your calculator. Area, just to talk about what area actually is, like what it's looking for. Area is like the shade, like the amount of space the circle takes up. So if I want to know what the area of a circle is, I want to know all this, like say if I want to know, say if I have like a circular yard or any yard, and I need to know like how many patches of grass I need to like fill the whole yard, that would be area. As opposed to like a fence, so a fence would be like the circumference, which goes like around. But area is like how much grass you need, if you want to think about it like that. So grass and then the fence. So the grass would be the area, and then the fence would be the circumference. Okay? So again, all you need to figure out area of a circle is the radius. And if you're given the diameter, you can easily just divide the diameter by 2 to figure out the radius, and then go from there. So say, here's my example. If the radius of a circle, is 5. What is the area of that circle? So this is the formula. So the formula A, they want to know area. So A would be pi r squared. So be very careful. The reason I put the parentheses around the r squared, and this is actually how I recommend you put this in your calculator, because you want to square the radius. Like, you don't want to square the whole thing. You want to square the radius first, and then you want to multiply that answer by pi. And when you put the parentheses in the calculator will know, like, calculators have PEMDAS, like, installed in them. So once the calculator sees the parentheses, there's no way it'll give you the wrong answer. So it'll do PEMDAS for you. So that's why I like to put parentheses around the r squared. So PEMDAS, calculator will do it for you. I do not expect you to do this by hand. Nobody does this by hand. So we're just going to plug in the information that they gave us, which is r equals 5. I'm doing red. R equals 5. So this is a formula, and this is the information they gave us. So now I'm just going to plug it in. We're not going to do any math. We're just like setting it up correctly so that we can put it into the calculator correctly, so that the calculator doesn't make a mistake. So it'd be pi, so just a number, just 3.14. It goes on forever, like the decimal goes on forever, but all we care about, like in this class, is 3.14. Parentheses, 5 squared. So if you want, like if you know what 5 squared is, you can do that by heart. Like 5 squared is 5 times 5. And I haven't touched pi yet. I don't even care about it yet. So that's 25. So now all you can put in the calculator is 25 pi. You can put it like this or like this, because parentheses mean multiply. And so, let me see what you get. 25 times pi. You get about 78.5. That's your answer. Okay, so for the PDF that I uploaded on Google Classroom / Schoology, it's about 25 questions, and everything on that worksheet is I went over it. There's no tricks on there. It's really straightforward. You have a whole week to do it. It's just one assignment per week in my class. I don't really know or care how other teachers are doing it, because this is a very stressful time for many, many families. And so I really try to be sensitive of that. So, I think that's everything. This is everything you need to know about the first 25 questions. And again, you have the whole week to do it. And I already posted a Google Forms online to submit your answers. And you can redo that as many times as possible. And I'll take the highest score. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please comment or email. I'm literally an email away. We're all in quarantine, so you should be in quarantine. But so I'm very close to my devices. If you're worried about something, about grades, or if you don't understand this, if you need me to upload something else, or send you a picture of I'm stuck on this problem, whatever, just email me. Please just email me. Communication is key, and I need to know that you guys are okay, academically and personally, emotionally, and physically, of course. So please let me know how I did. It's my very first video. Thank you for watching.